So Korach and his followers challenge the authority of Moses and Aaron, Moshe and Aaron. And God punishes them in spectacular fashion. The earth opens up beneath their feet, swallows Korach and his followers alive, and then the earth closes again. Korach and his followers descend into the pit. The Talmud tells us that that pit was none other than Gehenna. If you're not familiar with what Gehenna is, let me define it for you. Unfortunately, on occasion, I've been asked to go there by certain opposing attorneys. Gehenna is none other than hell. So what happened when Korach and his followers got to hell? Did Charon, the ferryman, take them across the river Styx in his boat? Did they meet the devil? And if they did he have a forked tongue or tail and a huge pitchfork? Whatever you call him, Lucifer or Beelzebub, or as we call him, the Satan, Satan, is he really God's arch enemy? Why does he get such a bad rap? We actually believe he's something very different. If anything, he's God's most loyal servant. God gives him a very special job. His job is to test us, to tempt us. And when we fall prey, when we succumb to his temptations, he's every bit as upset as God is. But on the contrary, when we resist his blandishments, he's delighted because we've succeeded. And he's enabled us to bring out a new dimension that we may not have even known that we had. He's enabled us to show ourselves and show God and show the world the lengths to which we'll go to serve God. But now that we've unmasked the devil, what about hell? Is hell an actual place? The best explanation I ever heard was that it's something far more spiritual. In fact, all of the various commandments at the end of a person's life get split up into separate compartments. The Sabbath, keeping kosher, giving charity, visiting the sick, being honest in business and not cheating on taxes, keeping the holidays. Each one of them has its own scorecard, and a person gets judged. And imagine you have a fellow who's Jewish and he dies, and he's kept the Sabbath punctiliously his whole life. And now that he's up there and he meets God, he finds out that not only is there a God, but he did indeed give the Torah to the Jewish people. And he did want us to keep the Sabbath, and we kept it. That person is delighted beyond description, beyond imagining. He spends eternity with a huge, beatific smile on his face. Starts off every morning with a big fist bump and a high five from God for a job well done. That tremendous feeling, that feeling of pride, that feeling of a life spent doing a job well done is a feeling of heaven. But on the contrary, if that same person, for whatever reason, didn't keep kosher, and now he realizes, he finds out, yes, indeed, there is a God. He did give us the Torah. He did want us to keep kosher, and this fellow didn't, and that kills him. He doesn't get a redo. He doesn't get a replay. We're not cats. We don't get 9 lives. This guy had a chance to serve God, and he forwent the opportunity. That feeling of horror, that feeling of blowing, the ultimate opportunity is a feeling of hell. So interestingly, a person at the end of their life can find themselves simultaneously, depending on the issue, in both heaven and hell. It's our job, of course, to spend our lives, to spend these precious moments making sure that we observe as many of the commandments as possible, as well as possible, so that at the end of days we'll find ourselves, or find the various compartments of our mind, in far more heaven than in hell.